post game presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Riding shotgun with Robert Ory, Darren Collison. I am Steven Nelson. Just wrapped up Game 3 down in San Antonio, and it's the defending champs taking a 2-1 series lead. Once again, the OKC bench factoring in, overcoming a ridiculously red-hot start from San Antonio. But initial takeaways from the game. Just give me a quick thought before we dive into the highlight.
You just talked about the bench. I thought the inability to get Wemby the ball was a key for me.
50-plus bench points in the last 3 games in the Western Conference Finals. Can't beat that.
All right, in case you missed any of the highlights of the action, we got you covered right now here on the post-game show. Let's get right into it. Going down to inside the association studios. Rob, DC, one of the initial takeaways was, once again, you're looking at the box score and you're just seeing the depth of the defending champs. Like, they've been a wagon all year long. Yep. They outscored the Spurs bench tonight 76-23. So now the running score for the series, bench points, 183-64, if the math is correct there.
Ooh. I'm sure your math is correct, but sometimes you look at the points. Then I look at the plus minus, 28, 28, 22 coming from the bench. Yeah. And you look at the starters, the only one that was a plus was Shai Gilgeous was 11. That's just incredible. That was going to show you that the coaching staff has a lot of confidence in that bench, and the bench, rightly so, just comes out and play well. And it's like, who's going to do it? It's like, as a team, this is one of the reasons I don't want to coach. You have to play a team like this where you think you got the starters on lock and then the bench kills you.
Well, for me, J-Dub is out, right? And you think, okay, who's their second best player, so to speak, right? It could be Chet, it could be A.J. Mitchell. A.J. Mitchell arguably was their best player in the last series. He went down with an injury. So now you're getting bench production points to make up the difference for those 2 players. You can't beat that. Some of these teams that win multiple championships, the key to their success, and Rob will tell you, is depth. You can rely on star power all you want, but once you have depth and you're getting 50-plus points in the bench as bench points, that's hard to beat.
I think if you would have told a fan of either team, honestly, before Game 3, hey, San Antonio is getting both De'Aaron Fox back, Harper's going to play, J-Dub is not, and A.J. Mitchell has 2 points. I think Spurs fans are like, perking up, 2-1 series lead. That sounds kind of nice. But that's not how it played out, because they're legitimately 10 deep.
They are, but it's their continuity in their offense. If you watch the way Thunder execute offensively, they're very methodical. They slow down, they screen for one another, and they move the ball, and they take their time. Where San Antonio, yeah, they may have the quickness, athleticism, but it just seemed like they were rushing shots a little bit, right? And Thunder got what they want offensively. I think San Antonio was rushing the shot a little bit more in the half-court set, and that was the difference.
Yeah, I think when you watch OKC, they love the probe. They will probe, and they'll come out and they'll reset the offense. And San Antonio started a team like, okay, this is our option. We're going to go downhill. We're going to try to make something happen. If this doesn't work, we're just going to throw it up for Wemby for the lob or something. But the thing is, Wemby wasn't there tonight. Wemby was outside shooting threes, or Wemby was something going on with him, because they didn't look for him for a long time. And we've always had the philosophy. I think I've played with 3 great big men. Oh, no, you better not. Every time down the floor, they're going to either touch the ball or be something involved. So you got to do something.
Let's hear Mitch Johnson's head coach of the Spurs, his initial thoughts after the Game 3 loss. He's at the podium.
Mitch, game efforts by De'Aaron and Dillon, but how much were they hampered by those injuries? And De'Aaron now, how is he?
I haven't asked how they're doing. I'm sure they're beat up. They're giving us everything they got, so it's commendable, just the fight that they have. And it's that time of the year where guys are playing with more than bumps and bruises. So just tip the cap and ask as much as they can give.
No, Dillon's injury, of course, played into this, but the bench disparity, what's holding the bench back, particularly Keldon?
I don't think one thing here or there. I think we were really sharp to start the game, and obviously didn't sustain it, and that wasn't sustainable how we started. But I thought we played very fast, and I think that's something that tapered off as the game went along, and we have to find a way to do that. And part of that's on me to help the whole group, not just the bench, but to continue to play fast and get out and get some easy opportunities. And then obviously thought we could have done a much better job of crashing the glass tonight, making more concerted effort. There's a lot of misses to go get, and we didn't get enough of them.
Coach Victor said last game that what you guys are getting from Shea or seeing from him isn't much different than just what you know he's capable of doing. I think he had a huge disparity in free throws between first and second half. Was it just him finding a rhythm? Was it something that changed on the defensive side for you guys?
You're asking about Shea's free throws?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably half of them were from undisciplined. First off the floor, he got us out of position and took advantage of it. So I'll have to go back and look. I can't remember all how he got all 12 free throws, but I know a few of them were pretty good defense, it felt like, up until that point. And it's tough because he gets to spots and he makes tough shots, but you got to keep fighting that urge to try to do more and stay with it. And, you look at it, he's 6 for 17, which means whether he missed some shots or we made him tough or a little combination of both. But those 12 free throws helped out a lot, and I can remember at least a few on my head right now that were undisciplined on our end.
Coach, the shooting under 32% from three appear to be some good looks in there, though. How much of that do you think is just ebbs and flows of sometimes the shots just don't fall and sometimes, or how much of that is what they were doing defensively as well?
Yeah, both. They did some great things defensively. Thought we got some good looks and didn't make them. Thought there were times tonight we were chasing the game a little bit. We weren't working the game and trying to settle in, especially when there was a lot of time left, even in the third quarter, in the end of the second quarter. And I thought we didn't just work the game enough in terms of just staying with it and trying to continue to get stops and then get good looks offensively and good possessions. Thought we got in a hurry a couple times and rushed ourselves. And that's what I meant by, we didn't play fast enough, but then at the same time we were rushed. And so I got to make sure I help them more Sunday to try to get into a good place with that.
Mitch, what do you think the Thunder defense to kind of disconnect the guard play from getting the ball into Victor in the post consistently?
Well, they have multiple bodies in the paint all the time, so even if you put Victor or try to drive the ball with an advantage, you're going to see multiple bodies, so you got to be able to make the early pass, and sometimes you got to be okay with the second drive or the third drive or the second change of the sides to continue to work the possession and get a shot because they do a really good job. And then as you get that shot, you got to step up and take it because you're probably not going to get another good one. So it's a delicate balance that we got a little indecisive and in between tonight on both ends.
Coach, Victor played 39 minutes today. I think he almost didn't come out of the floor in the second half. Can you talk about the challenge of the minutes without him and what's difficult maybe for the team? I think he's +4, so minus 20 without him on the floor.
Yeah, obviously, we're better with him on the floor, and we got to be better when he's not on the floor. And that was a lot of everything that I've said up to this point. I think in terms of him playing those minutes, the game was really slow. A lot of fouls. So not all minutes are created equal, in my opinion, in terms of the game flow and how they're going. Now, 39 minutes isn't easy, don't get me wrong, but I thought the second half took a different personality, so it allowed him to play through maybe some extra stints that he typically didn't play if the game was faster.
That was Mitch Johnson, Spurs head coach, after the Game 3 loss. Looking at that first half, again, the Spurs started the game on a 15-0 run. They were up 19-4. But at the end of the half, they trail by 7. You're looking at Wemby, and the Spurs are +12 with him on the floor. He didn't play for 5.5 minutes. They were minus 19 without him on the floor. But to steer it back to Oklahoma City Thunder, because they won this game, there's so much talk, conversation, and honestly vitriol toward this team now, and a lot of it revolves around foul rating. Not trying to totally ignore that or dismiss that, but where do you want to steer the conversation after this win specifically, DC?
For SGA in particular, or OKC or in general, right?
Yeah, SGA as the leader of the team.
Look, everybody can talk about his foul baiting, right? But why don't people talk more about his playmaking ability? He's giving you 12 assists, and he's doing it against double teams, hard gaps. He has an intention on him throughout the entire series or throughout the entire playoffs. And he makes it a service on his end to get others involved, right? If he doesn't get 12 assists, who knows where this team would be, right? But his ability to get into the paint when he's getting double teamed and kick out to his teammates is the reason why Jared McCain is getting going. Kason Waller, Jalen Williams. Now the defense opens up a little bit, and now he can go get his 25-plus points. But that's what a superstar is supposed to do, right? Make it easier for your teammates.
What about you, Rob?
I think we also forget about OKC being a great defensive team. When you look at teams that have won championships, they have good defensive teams. You think about Chet, one of the defensive players, was up there for defensive player of the year, even though he didn't get it because we know Wemby got unanimous. But him, Lou Dort, and Shea, and they have the ability to stay in front of their players. And when you have that, that makes it easier for the defense. Think about it. If I can contain you, now I don't have to help. Now I'm contesting the shot. Now you're taking a bad shot. You think about Wemby. Wemby in that first game, we saw what he was able to do. But the coaching staff, OKC said, wait, this is not going to work. Let's change this up. Let's get Alex Caruso off of Wemby. Let's put a bigger body. You know, it doesn't, a lot of people who don't watch basketball, well, what's the difference in that? Size matters.
Yep.
You know, size matters. And I think OKC is one of those teams, they know how to body. We see how physical is this game. And when you look at these two teams, you look down the roster, you don't, the only person that really is menacing is maybe Lou Dort. You know, he's the one that looks like a linebacker. But everybody else is these guys that are physical, they're active, and, you know, they play with a lot of heart. And when you play with a lot of heart, you're going to have the fouls like that and things of this nature. But I really like OKC's defense and their tenacity.
There was that Spurs Thunder intensity, the rivalry that has brewed throughout this year, regular season, and now in the postseason, we saw moments of that here in Game 3 as well. What we're seeing right now is Mark Dagnel, head coach of the Thunder, stepping to the podium. So let's get you there.
Mark, you guys have talked about and tried to lean into the concept of resilience since the very beginning. What were you witnessing inside of the team in the opening, quarter to be able to just hang in there through that punch and take it and move forward?
Yeah, it was a punch. Credit them; they were ready to play, and they got us early. Stops, transition, pressure. I just thought we showed great poise to understand the 48-minute nature of the game. It's a long game, obviously. Thought the bench right off the bat, Alex, Kaysen, Jay Will, Jared, those guys gave us a huge lift all night, obviously, but it started there, just getting that game into a manageable spot. But yeah, great poise by the team.
The night that it's that time of year. If you're not fearless, then you're probably going to lose and go home. But Jared's never played this late into the year. Where do you think his fearlessness, is coming from, and are you surprised by that at all?
Never surprised, definitely impressed. I don't know where it's coming from. It's a good question for him, but I do know that from the second he's gotten here, this is obviously a high-level team, that was the 1 seed and is now playing deep into the playoffs, and he hasn't flinched. He's jumped right on the train. It's been inside the team. He's a big-time teammate, big-time competitor, and he's got playoff confidence, obviously, and playoff confidence isn't, always being able to perform well or anything like that. It's being able to take your punches and keep throwing them, and he's certainly shown the capacity to do that.
Just a quick follow. As you've gotten to know him, I don't know if you would agree with these exact descriptors, but he seems very self-aware, very emotionally intelligent. As a coach, does that allow you to put him in spots relative to other guys? Like, is it easier to put him in certain spots, maybe more intense spots because of that?
Yeah, I think the awareness of the team, awareness of his role, awareness of his strengths, I think that's where some of the intelligence you're referring to shows up tangibly. And then the fearlessness that you mentioned in the first part of the question, those two things combined, it's like if he struggles in a portion of a game or even in a game itself, it gives you confidence that you can go back to him and he's going to be in character. And that's all you really want from anybody. No one's going to play perfect, but you just want them to play as consistently to who they are and consistently inside of the team as they can. And
win 123-108 and take a 2-1 series lead. All time, best of 7 series tied 1-1. The winner of Game 3 has gone on to win the series 78% of the time. We'll see if Victor Wembanyama has anything to say about that. He's got plenty to say right now because he's at the podium.
Mitch noted how you guys started off so well pace-wise, but then it tapered off. What prevented you guys from keeping that pace up and just not sustaining that strong start?
I don't know. The explanation doesn't sound more complicated than this. I will have to watch the film again.
De'Aaron and Dylan had game efforts. How difficult was it seeing them obviously not being 100%?
Yeah, it pains me to see them in pain. I trust that they're going to be healthy soon and come back. But they should take care of their health. It's of course, it's I mean, as always, like we did in game one, we're going to have them back.
Gotten a lot of defensive attention your whole career, all year, but has it felt the last couple of games like it's harder to get space, like they're crowding you a little more, making it more difficult on you?
I feel like I have trouble making my teammates better right now. If that's what I should do better. My shooting splits aren't terrible. I need to be more of a team player.
Vic, there were a couple times tonight where Castle was fouled on a fast break and seemed like there was some frustration between him and Devin, maybe all of you guys. You know, you've obviously been in that situation when they're clawing at you and facing that physicality. What's that balance like? Being frustrated, but needing to kind of keep your composure?
No, there's no place for frustration. It's annoying, of course, but we're going to use that, as energy.
Vic, their whole defense seems to be geared towards getting between the guards getting you the ball and you getting to the ball. You've always been able to reach over people or dance around people or whatever. You always had some physical advantage. What do you think they're doing to limit that, and what do you think you need to find within you to get over what they've been doing?
I mean, they're being physical. The difference maybe with this team is their experience. They may be being more smart about it. But we just got to find the answers. We're going to watch film. We're going to figure it out.
Related to that, Vic, the first time that you guys are facing a deficit in these playoffs, curious to see if you're gunning for Sunday and a response here in Game 4.
Of course. I mean, it's my first playoffs. It's the first playoffs for many of us. Of course, there was going to be hard trials. It's to be expected. But now we're going to see what we're made of.
Victor, a moment ago you said that you to your left. A moment ago you said that you felt you needed to be a better teammate. What do you mean by that exactly, and how can you be that?
Facilitate better, rebound the ball better, get more, push their defense a little bit further, and see how much they're willing to help off of my teammates and feed them.
Throughout the season, your bench has been a huge boost for you guys, and now you're in a series where their bench has a big disparity. Is there anything you guys can do to address that?
I feel like each and every one of us got to be better. It's I think it's just as a team, as an organization, when there's a lot of new experiences, we're just gonna have to find the answers.
Victor, you spend your off season challenging yourself in the way you train, and it seems like you're always doing everything you can to find harder challenges. So now that you're in this point of your career where you're facing probably the biggest challenge you faced in the NBA, how do you feel right now?
I feel good. My shape, I'm in good shape, I don't have no red alert on my body, so it's good. Got to sustain this shape.
Victor, il y avait une très grosse ambiance en début de match, notamment sur le gros run.
Okay, so Victor Wembanyama finishing his media session after the Game 3 loss. 39 minutes, 26 points on 8 of 15 shooting. He was 2 of 5 from behind the arc, 8 of 10 from 3. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, a steal. He talked about how his shooting splits weren't terrible. Other bullet points, he needs to be a better teammate, get his teammates more involved, be a better rebounder. He was asked about the physicality of the defense. All that to say, what did you make of Victor Wembanyama's performance? And then what adjustments need to be made for Game 4? DC, I'm going to start with you.
Well, one of the reasons why we love Wemby is because he's such a great teammate. And he definitely does care about his teammates, right? But sometimes you need your superstar player to be a little bit more nasty. And people will say, well, he had 26 points. But that's not what I'm referring to. He only had 15 shot attempts. And for a guy like him, that needs to be your first half stat. And Rob could attest to this. He's played with Shaq and he's seen how dominant Shaq was. I played against guys like LeBron and Kobe, and that's how much I view Vic. I think he can get to that level. If he's taking 25 shot attempts, I guarantee you his assist numbers will go up. It's got to start with him. And I know I'm being hard on him for a reason. It's because I believe he's going to be that great. But once he's aggressive to another level, then he's going to start making his teammates a lot better.
I totally agree with that. I think also the players got to take wind of who Wemby is. When you look at games, the first thing you want to do is where is my mismatch? Every time Wemby steps on the floor,
mismatch.
It's a mismatch in his advantage. And the key thing for me when I noticed during the game, when he is on the right elbow and he drives left, and he usually makes something positive happen. He either get to the hole, get fouled, spin back for his baby hook. And he didn't play downhill enough for me. You saw that at play where he went to the right and he took off. We thought he was going to dunk it. He pulled it back and shot the floater. See, that's the Wemby we wanted to see because he's being aggressive. And sometimes Wemby he's an NBA player. What does he do? He wants the game to be easy. And that means he's going to settle for the jump shot. And you cannot settle for the jump shot in the play. You have to be aggressive. Take Shai Gilgeous, for instance. There's a reason he's shooting this many free throws.
Yep.
He's going downhill. So make the defense play you. You're too good to take jump shots and settle.
And I want to add to that. I mean, you look at SGA and how teams are playing him. They're doubling sometimes at half court, sometimes even cross half court. It's because he's gained that respect. I think Wemby is starting to understand, okay, I can gain that respect and get my teammates involved if I'm much more aggressive.
And to hammer home your point, SGA is assertively and decisively driving that bus because he knows that he's going to draw that attention.
Absolutely.
So that's what you want from
Yep.
Wemby. All right, we're going to take another break here on the Association Post.
Talking about the mentality and the poise that you guys coming in off the bench had, particularly in that first quarter. I was wondering if you could just kind of take me inside of what's going through you as you check into the game and you're in a bit of a hole early, but just seemed like you guys maintained poise and resilience.
Yeah, I mean, we knew coming into this game, especially at home for them, it's going to be loud, it's going to be crazy, but being able to weather a storm, we talk about it a lot. AC and K-Rays talk about it a lot, and at that timeout, I think they were up like 15-0 or something. Just being able to be calm, be poised in that situation, and give each other confidence, give each other energy, and know that we're going to throw another punch, and we're to come back.
Jared, the other night Caruso said that it's that time of year. If you're not fearless, then you're probably going to lose and go home. But you've never played this late in the year, and yet all series you've sort of driven with Wemby in the lane. You've taken whatever shot you felt like. Where is this sort of fearlessness coming from?
I think it just stems from when I was younger. My family, they give me that confidence, my support system. I feel like I've played in big games, whether it's in high school or Duke, and definitely not the Western Conference Finals, but being able to just take that confidence and be fearless. Like, this is, I love this so much. Like, I love what my life is right now, and being able to play and contribute at this level, I never want to take it for granted. And so whatever opportunity I get, I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to try and execute my best. I truly love this, and I think that's why I just can go in there and just be fearless and trust myself.
When Sam traded for you at the deadline, is this at all what you sort of envisioned your first season being like here?
Well, I knew we would definitely be a great team. I didn't know how much I'd be contributing. Definitely just trying. When I first got traded, I think most of it was just trying to learn from the best since they won it already. And so being able to contribute early and learn from them already has been a blessing for me. And so being able to contribute, I don't know if I expected it, but I definitely am ready for it.
Jared, you had the assist to Jay Will on the 4-point play there, celebrated with him afterward. I just wonder, the bench was so big tonight. Both of you guys played a large part. Can you talk me through that play and just kind of that moment with them after it?
Yeah, I mean, those are huge momentum shifters, especially getting to quiet down the crowd. And, being able to pass to Jay Will like that. He was hot all night. And so being able to get him the ball and him knock it down and get fouled, it's a awesome momentum shift, and got to celebrate with my brothers for sure.
Jess Martinez with the Oklahoma. You mentioned when you were younger. What are your earliest memories of watching playoff basketball as a kid, and just how would you describe the feeling of getting to experience it now firsthand?
Yeah, I think the earliest of watching playoff basketball, I want to say 2011. I think what I was at 7. I remember walking into my parents' room and seeing, was that Lakers? Was Lakers in there? Probably. I remember walking in there and seeing my brother and my dad watching it, and I'm kind of lost at that age. I was lost, but I remember watching and seeing Kobe, and Kobe's been my favorite player since I started playing basketball. So I always gravitated towards him and his mentality, and so I think that was my earliest memory.
Jared, what would you say you learned the most playing alongside a guy like Alex Caruso, like what he does on the court, but in the locker room as well, like just the vet that he is, you know?
Yeah, I think the number one thing I think is leadership. He does a great job of just leading the locker room, being vocal. And for me specifically, I feel defensively I've been able to contribute and learn from him no matter what it is. He's an elite defender, and being able to take little details, asking him small questions, whether it's certain coverages, and being able to talk out there on defense and communicate different coverages, it's been huge for me.
In the last game, Shea mentioned late in the game, sort of yelling at you to calm down. I'm wondering, when you talk about embracing your emotions, how are you managing that on this stage for the first time?
Yeah. I was telling him there was a double coming, but I should know he's taking that shot and he's knocking it down. But being able to just manage his emotions and manage, that we're all trying to win, no matter what it is. It's a team game. We're all trying to win, and doing whatever it takes. And so, if I'm open, I'm gonna call for it, and I'm telling him there's a double. But knowing that that's the MVP, and playing off of him for sure.
Jared, you had that drive on Wemby where you gave him a little bump and were able to finish. Give a little flex there. Run me through that play, and especially run me through the celebration. What's going on in your mind then?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's 7'6", so running me off the line isn't that hard for him. But I feel like I had a small advantage, and anytime you can use leverage, I feel like I got a strong legs, and being able to use the shoulder bump and get him off balance, I think I can finish not over him, but sometimes just get him out the way and then kind of throw it up and see. I was thinking I was gonna get my offensive rebound. I didn't know if I was gonna make it or not, but always cool to get a bucket and celebrate with the teammates, especially on the bench too.
In the second half, we've seen you play with the ball a lot, play off the bigs, but it seemed like you had a lot of ball handling, getting the ball up the floor against a ton of pressure. Has this been so natural for you because of the opportunities that you've had on the ball almost immediately since you came in? I guess I just wonder how you're feeling about that in the second half.
Yeah, I also, like, when I was younger, I always kind of, like, shooting's always been, like, my main thing, and so playing off the ball was kind of always huge for me because we had, like, a point guard. And so not that I never played point, but it definitely wasn't, like, a point of emphasis for me. And so, but being able to take care of my handle and being able to work on that throughout off seasons, and even when I first in Philly, like when I feel like everybody was hurt, I was able to play on ball. So getting those reps was huge for me. And then coming here and playing get with heart like that, I've been able to get those reps and read the defense. And so it's still natural. And still working on it for sure. But